Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you could have first heard this episode 9 months ago if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St. Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your ticks.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Tune Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney, so what?
It's another Tune Machine. We haven't done one of these for about, I don't know, maybe about 6 weeks, I think. We're coming to the end of the month and we've got like a contractual obligation to do them.
I miss them. I miss it because week. It's one of my favourite pods to do. Yeah,
you do.
I love talking about pop music.
Yeah, pop tunes.
Pop tunes. There's not a more fun subject to talk about than pop music, really, is there?
While we're talking about pop music, it's not really relevant to this episode and the chart we're going to look at. But Channel 5 last night, Saturday night, a 90-minute documentary about Stockache and Waterman.
Oh yeah.
And it was just part one. Part two comes next week. Oh. And it was very good. Ooh. It was very good. I mean, some of the contributors to it, Simon Cowell was on there because he worked with them back in the day.
Yeah.
He had his great big his aviator shades on so you couldn't see.
What, he'd sat down to do the interview with his shades on?
He was outdoors, I think.
Wow.
Or perhaps on a balcony of some kind. But, I mean, you know, his eyes these days, his entire face is... It's a miracle of anti-science, you could say.
Yeah.
I don't know. So he was on it quite a bit. Kylie Minogue. Exclusive interview with Kylie Minogue.
They got an actual interview with Kylie Minogue. They didn't just buy it from some other footage.
This was legit for this thing. It's really good. I mean, Stockache and Waterman, they got slagged off a lot at the time.
Yeah.
They get slagged off a lot maybe now. But I think a lot of the stuff they did was really good and it's really stood the test of time.
Well, yeah. I mean, certainly they did Venus with Bananarama, didn't they? Which is one of Bananarama's best songs.
They did You Spin Me Round with Dead or Alive.
They did some good. They did a load of shit. I think the thing was there was just too much of it. There was just too much of it. It was just like there was a period where it felt that like everything in the chart was by them, and it was like, it just did my nutting.
That Mel and Kim, the Mel and Kim stuff was brilliant.
I like Mel and Kim. Yeah,
Mel and Kim were great. Part two, I think next week it'll get to the bit where it starts to go shit and they end up falling out with each other and there's court cases galore and all that. But it's one of them where it's watchable because of the story, even if you don't like the music.
I read one of their books once. It wasn't Pete Waterman. It was either Stock or Aitken. I think it was Stock. I think it was Mike Stock. Is that his name?
Sir John Stock. Yeah. Mike Stock.
Mike Chicken Stock. Yeah, I remember reading it. It was really good because, like, he was the main... Was he the main writer? I don't know. You watch the doc. I'm not going to about to start saying it. I just say, they're an interesting pop cultural phenomenon, aren't they?
Just dynamic. Yeah. What was I going to say? I can't remember. But yeah, that's worth a look. It's on catch up and all that sort of thing.
Is it worth explaining the context that I'm in a puppy situation during this pod? Because I'm turning around nervously. I find myself at home on a Sunday with the puppy and the kitten, but no other humans. And the puppy requires quite a lot of vigilance. I thought I'll tell you, it was lunch round at my mother-in-law's, which usually I'm fine with. I enjoy seeing her and having a nice lunch cooked for me. But I had a bit of writing to do that I had to stay home and do. I actually got it finished earlier than I expected. And then I thought, now I can just like have a lovely relax. No, you can't relax when you've got a puppy and you're on your own.
A puppy and a kitten.
So I took the puppy out for a really long walk. You're only supposed to take them out for 20-minute walks when they're 4 months old.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't know if not they die. So I got it back.
Dehydrate.
Yeah, I got it back. Well, I was told 5 minutes for every month-old they are.
Called it again.
So I got it back. Well, it's a dog, isn't it? I got her back after a nice long walk on which she had not done a shit, which I was very annoyed about. But I was like, okay, it's time to come home. And then when I got home, I opened the front door and she just was like, nah, I don't want to go home. She didn't want to go home.
Oh.
So she turned back round. I had to take her out for a further 10 minutes until she agreed to come in the door. Still no shit.
Okay.
I had to then I fed her. I had to exhaust her. And then finally she's been sitting beside me on the sofa sleeping, but I couldn't leave her on her own when I came over to the Vita Modular. So the reason I'm distracted is she's now in the garden between the house and the Vita Modular, right? She won't come in the Vita Modular. She occasionally comes into it, runs around and reaps havoc, and then just leaves again.
What's the problem
She won't settle in there. I know, it's really cosy. I had high hopes that we could spend days together with her, like in her little bed next to me while I write or pod, and that would be lovely. That was the vision I had for dog ownership. But she comes in, she has a sniff around. She likes to, like, you know, maybe grab something in her mouth and run out with it. But there's no settling down, not in here. She'll settle down in the house, but not here. So at the moment, she's just in the garden, and the kitten's too small. He's not allowed out yet, right? He's too small.
Oh, of course.
He hasn't been done. You know, he hasn't had his, I don't know what they do, cut their balls off. Maybe they're willy too, for all I know. But he hasn't been done.
I think the whole thing, and
also, in any case, the vet said he's too small. He'll get bullied by the other neighbourhood cat. So I don't want to go through that again because, you know, Nelson was a lifelong victim of bullying, right?
He was.
So he has to stay in. What happens in the night is if I let the puppy out to do its business, the cat, when the door opens, makes a dart for it. And I've got a system whereby I sort of let the dog out and prevent the cat from escaping simultaneously. But sometimes in the dead of night, I'm sloppy. The cat gets out. At the moment, it's very icy on the surface in my garden. And so there's this situation where I'm in my pyjamas and slippers and dressing gown. The dog's doing a crap on the artificial grass. Meanwhile, on the decking, old fish cake is slipping and sliding around at 3 a.m. Trying to fetch the kitten from behind the barbecue, which is where he runs every time. And this
my fish cake at this slipping Timmy.
Slipping fucking Timmy, mate. In the middle of the night. Come back, cat. And the dog's like, do a shit, dog. Come back, cat. It's fucking chaos. At the moment, the cat stands mournfully at the door, right? The glass door, staring out at the dog. And the cat's looking at the dog as if to say, I wish I was out there. And the dog's looking at the cat and saying, I wish I was in there.
Yeah.
And there's something like an allegory for life there, something to do with, you know, the grass is always greener. They both want what the other one's got. But
one thing's for sure, neither of them.
You are?
Are you still sleeping downstairs every night?
Last night was the first. No, we were taking it in turns, 2 nights on, 2 nights off. And last night was the first night in which we both slept upstairs. And there was no whining as far as I have. But I mean, what do I know? I've got my fucking sleeping, breathing mask on, haven't I? I'm sound asleep.
Of course.
The dog could be going berserk for all I know. My wife didn't hear any, but unfortunately she had soiled inside her pen this morning, which was something she hasn't done for several weeks. But, you know, we'll get there.
Oh, so is she sleeping in the crate?
No, she's got a pen. We did have a crate. It didn't work out. It sent her demented, and I'm not surprised. It's a cage. They call it a crate. It's a fucking cage. But now she's got a pen. So she's got a nice cosy bed. It's surrounded by a pen that she can't escape from.
What's the dimensions of the pen, roughly?
I would say it's like 2 foot by 2 foot, something like that.
Oh, quite a small pen.
It's perfectly okay for her.
You wouldn't have thought she'd soil in there because they don't shit where they sleep usually.
That's what we thought. So she must have been... She's not done that ever before inside the pen. Yeah. She's done it last night. I don't know. Maybe it was feces. Maybe it was driven by anxiety. I don't know. But, you know, it comes a point where she's got to get used to this, you know.
It's hard life, isn't it? It reminds me... It reminds me a lot of the early days of having a baby when you've got to get them in the night doing the bottle feed and all that.
Very similar. And it's affecting me physically and mentally.
What, are you getting fat or something?
No. I'm still managing to keep up with my exercise. In fact, I'm doing more because when I wake up, I feel when I'm tired, I get very anxious and I feel a bit fragile. And so I'm going out and running and exercising even more, right? I can't take it. Usually I would take 1 to 2 rest days a week. Not since I've had a puppy.
Just out every day, even in the ice, slipping around, slipping.
Yeah. Well, so if it's sometimes I'll go to the gym, but sometimes I run in the park. It's all right if you're on the mud and the grass and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's no, physically I'm in pain from sleeping on the sofa. I've got a bad back, and emotionally it's just like I do when I've had a lack of sleep. I don't know about you, but when I haven't slept properly, everything becomes more emotional for me. I become things get to me much easier. When I've had a good night's sleep with the sleep mask on, I come down like fucking King Kong, mate.
Yeah, you come down.
I'm fucking full of it.
Gliding on air.
I come downstairs with a big wad of fivers, and I'm chucking them at the kids, chucking them at my wife, chucking them at the fucking kitten and the puppy.
Yeah.
Going outside, chucking them at Raggedy Ann too. Here you go,
cunts. Are, darling. Get yourself something pretty.
Go and buy yourself a nice bit of jewellery or something. Take yourself up west. Take yourself out the beaches or go out to West End and see a matinee.
Yeah. Well,
but then when I've been sleeping on the sofa, that's me after a night in bed. Me after a night on the sofa, I'm like, I ain't even got a fiver for myself. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know where my life's going anymore. It's amazing. It's all to do with sleep. Everything's
Sleep's
to do
incredible.
with sleep. Yeah.
Sleep's vital.
It's the most important thing. Yeah.
This is the first podcast we're recording in my new chair. Do you want to see us go backwards in my new chair?
Yeah.
Whoa, look at that.
What sort of chair is it? I can't see it.
It's just an office chair, but it's one of them with the side of... Hey,
oh, that's lovely.
Isn't it?
Where'd you get the chair from?
IKEA.
Oh, lovely.
Just assembled it yesterday. It spins round. It's on wheels. I was just using an old dining chair.
Oh no, that's bad.
That had been discarded.
Do you ever get a sore back from that?
No, we never pod long enough, do we, to get sore backs?
Oh,
but this feels really good.
Do.
I think we could be on a new era.
Yeah,
we'll go from strength to strength. Now I've got this new chair.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned a lot of people come to us, don't they? And they say, "What's the secret of podding success?" And I often say, don't underestimate comfort. Get the right equipment. I don't mean get the right mic. People spend all sorts of money on mics they don't need. Right? Get a nice comfy chair. If you can, get a Vita Modular. Right.
Yeah.
Get the right environment around you to get the pod juices flowing.
Exactly that. So hopefully we'll go from strength to strength. This is the tune machine, isn't it? It feels as though it's drifted into other areas, but we are here to
chattle. But there is a good chart to examine.
A chart. And we'll go over now to the random pop blob, which languishes in its crate, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
It's not, it's a cage.
You've been crate training the blob, haven't you?
Nah, it's been in that cage ever since I got it. Just
sort
leave
of
it in
trained.
there. It struggles. It doesn't have feet, so it struggles to get out. It wouldn't want to escape into the garden, for example, because it would just kind of shuffle along on its own blobness.
Oh yeah, I think it would last 10 minutes before it just sort of
can't exercise
exploded.
A blob.
No.
Yeah, somebody would stand on it. You can't exercise a blob. It's all right where it is, just sat there in the cage. So we'll just ask it which chart we're doing. Random blob. Use your gob. Tell us how to do our job. Yeah.
Well, the turn of the century is not an era that has worked well for us on Tune Machine in the past. The turn of the century was not a great time for pop music on the whole, I don't think. But we'll work with what we're given.
Well, all we can do is take that chart, hold the print out of it in our hands and go through it from 40 down to 1 and see what it brings us. So here we go. Down 11 places at number 40, it's Hepburn. I don't think that's Audrey Hepburn because there's at least 3 of them on the picture I can see. The song is called I Quit, and my God, at this station, day after day, I know how they feel, especially with charts like this to deal with.
Well, I'd like to tell that fat station controller to take his job and shove it right where the sun don't shine. But unfortunately, I've got 3 bloody mortgages to go.
2 divorces.
My own, my ex-wife, and my bloody mother. Right. At number 39, a new entry for Flaming Lips, they call themselves. Flaming Rubbish, more like. Race for the prize.
In at number 38, it's number 38, where it's Jewel with Down So Long. Sounds rude.
At number 37, it's plummeted 9 places. No Man's Land, brackets David's song, by a pair calling themselves DJ Sackin and Friends. Well, maybe Friends is just a collective term for all of his chums who he's brought along with him.
Oh, it's probably a raft of computers that he's got that he's made the song on because he can't play a proper instrument.
Learn to play the bloody piano, why don't you? Call yourself a musician.
Who's bloody David when he's at home? Anyway, in at number 36, Moffat's and Until You Loved Me. No idea.
Number 26, down... Oh, no, number 35, down from number 26. It's the Supergrass, a bunch of awful scruff bags who need a bloody good shave, who've named themselves after, of course, the Supergrass, who dobbed in a huge number of criminals in the 70s and 80s, something that I, for one, approve of. I pride myself on grassing to the constabulary whenever I get a chance. Anyway, they've done a song called Pumping on Your Stereo. I was pumping on the sofa last night. And not in a sexual capacity. I mean, I had awful flatulence after having some artichoke soup when I was out with a lady friend.
Yeah, I mean, being a Supergrass, you can wind up with one of those Glasgow smiles. Where they cut you with a blade either side of your lips, the corner of your lips.
That's right, mate.
That could happen. But ultimately, justice needs to be done.
At the end of the day, you have to live in a society where there's a clean definition of wrong and right. And then you need to position yourself on the correct side of those boundaries. Glasgow smile or no.
Otherwise, you're not going to sleep at night, are you? Down 14 places at number 34, it's Tatiana Ali with a song called Every Time. Again, no idea.
Falling and falling and falling. 12 places is precious with Say It Again. I don't think you'll ever be saying anything again at this rate.
I don't think we'll see any more of them in the charts going forwards. Down 9 places, number 32. It's Fats and Small. That's Fats with a PH. That's very, very close to a banning. But it's called Turn Around, and it seems to be quite popular in the discotheques.
Fats, of course, is a lovely gentleman from London, going by... His real name is Ben Ofeyedu. Sort of guy who I can imagine later in life marrying the broadcaster Vanessa Feltz. But we'll wait and see.
Sounds very, very improbable, but whatever.
At number 31, it's Britney Spears with Baby One More Time. I'll tell you what, mate, she could... with those new pills you can get from the States, it could be 2 or 3 more times if she's lucky. Yep, I'm still waiting for them to come in the post, though.
Even if you're a 2-pub pirate like you are.
2-pub pirate and proud, mate. It's efficient.
Sounds like a T-shirt.
It's efficient. I get the job done, I get out, and I get back to work.
Jalapeño. Jalapeño.
Down 5 places at number 30. It's the New Radicals with You Get What You Give.
I didn't like the old Radicals, personally.
Line from the Bible, I believe, isn't it? Jesus said that originally.
But radicals, from my experience, are usually, it's just another word for work, shy and disruptive.
Dodgers.
29. Here's some lads who never disrupt anything other than perhaps the ladies' heartstrings. It's Boy's Own with You Needed Me.
Down 6 places at number 28, it's Sugar Ray. I don't know if it's Sugar Ray Leonard, the boxer, but maybe it is. And he's singing Every Morning. Yep, I know what you mean, mate. Every morning you wake up and you think, fuck me, this again.
But you just have to keep on going. What are your options? Few and far between. Of course, there's the ultimate opt-out, but no, that's not for me. I was born more courageous than that.
Yep, you could become a new radical, or maybe you could become a supergrass and maybe get relocated by the authorities.
I went through a pretty bad spate of depression after my second divorce, as you may remember, mate. You told me fair and square that you had to cut off contact for a while because you were finding my moaning boring. And that was perfectly fair enough. I respected you for it. But it was then that I decided, after some pretty intensive therapy, that I should start devoting my life to something good. And it was then that I approached the local police, offering to share information on criminals, tax dodgers, and, of course, the worst of all, benefit frauds. And I've never looked back. It was the it was the purpose my life needed.
But just dodging back to what we were talking about there, waking up every morning and thinking, fuck me, this again. And like you said, there's very few other options. But as I always say to people who are complaining about their lot, you can't run away from your own mind.
Not my mind anyway, mate, because it runs at 100 miles per fucking hour. Here's a lady who I'd like to go running with. She's looking in great shape these days, much better than when she was hanging around with those sluts in the Spice Girls. Jerry Halliwell with Look at Me. Don't mind if I do, missus.
Yep, I'll take a good look from head to toe and back again.
Drink it in.
That's what she wants. She said it.
Mate, I've just got to let the dog in. Hold on.
Okay.
Come on, come in here. Come in here. Come on. That's it. It's warmer in here, isn't it? Sit with me when I do the podcast.
The dog has been attracted by Sam's DJ voice.
Yeah, you're a bit cold.
I think the dog's been lured in by your DJ voice. Oh, there's the dog. There is the dog on your knee.
Have you seen the dog live action before, mate?
Some face licking going on.
Can you see it licking my face? It's such a lovely feeling.
That's beautiful. Yep.
It's a lovely thing to have a dog lick you.
He's looking at me down the camera.
Who's that? Who's that?
Hello. Hello. I believe dogs can't actually look in. Dogs can't look at screens.
No, their eyes fall out of their skull if they look directly into a camera's lens.
And of course, they see everything in black and white and topsy-turvy.
Yeah,
that's a scientific.
It's a psychedelic experience being a dog, mate. One that I'm glad I've never had to endure.
Anyway, down 8 places at number 26, it's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Scar Tissue. Absolute shit.
Those fellows insist on taking their shirts off to show off their so-called gym bodies. Well, you can keep it, thanks, you bloody Americans. I'm very happy with my one-pack stomach. I've never had any complaints. Show evidence of a life well lived as far as I'm concerned. A life of mince.
Yes.
Pork.
My body...
And ale.
My body may be so white that it's almost pale blue, but at least I haven't ruined it with tattoos.
And heroin.
Like the members of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
One of them wore a sock on his penis on a record photograph the other day. Would have got a banning, but luckily it was delivered to our studios in a black bag. Right, at number 25, it's someone called Brandy with Almost Doesn't Count.
Okay. New entry at number 24. It's Blank and Jones, and their song is called Cream. What's your favourite kind of cream, mate?
I like clotted cream from down in the Cornwall way. Lovely part of the world. Although they do want independence, which I think stinks.
Yeah, maybe on top of a scone with some jam, something like that.
Absolutely right, mate. It's why that we are insistent that we have to leave the shackles of the European Union, as it's only a matter of time before old Jacques Delors bans us from having clotted cream on our scones and makes us have something disgusting like creme fraiche on a pancake. Well, fuck you, Delors.
Up yours, Delors.
And not jam, something that they go around calling confiture. No, thank you. Non-mercy. Dankeschön.
Nein, danke.
At number 23, it's a new entry for a revolting, devil-worshipping he-she called Marilyn Manson with Rock is Dead. Well, I'm pleased to hear it.
Down 6 places at number 22, it's TLC with No Scrubs. Yeah.
Scrubs, I believe, are the term for the overalls you use in a surgical procedure. That's in a hospital. Yeah. Perhaps they're singing about dangerous. Something. It doesn't sound particularly sanitary. If you don't have scrubs, avoid surgery is my advice. Number 21.
Probably the EU law.
Preposterous Dancing Fool, Jamiroquai, with a song called Canned Heat.
Do you know how tall he is? I'll tell you, 5'1".
Disgusting.
Ludicrous.
No wonder he wears that enormous fucking hat everywhere he goes. Adds on 12 inches.
Down 8 places at number 20, it's Cher with All or Nothing. She's getting on, Cher. She's not a spring chicken anymore, but by God, I still very much would.
She's still lithe, still athletic, and still a real lady. And there's not enough of them around anymore, especially not lithe athletic ones. So, or more power to her elbow. 19.
I've heard she's quite dirty.
Yeah, I've heard that too. But that's okay. You can still be a lady as long as you keep the dirtiness in the privacy of the bedroom.
Behind closed doors. Behind the bedroom door.
New entry, 19. Insane in the Brain. Jason Nevins versus Cypress Hill. Sounds horrible to me. I want nothing more to do with that. I feel dirty just for having the words come out of my mouth.
I'd ban it, but I can't be bothered.
Mind you, I did go to Cyprus once. It's a lovely place. I believe these fellas are from there. Even in winter. It's not long haul, but you can get around 23, 24 degrees in the winter months, and it's only a 4-hour flight, mate. So think about Cyprus for next time.
Did you go on the hill? Does it have a hill?
I looked around. I asked around for it, but no joy, no dice.
Okay, down 5 places at number 18, Chicane featuring Mary Brennan with Saltwater. That sounds awful. I think it's one of those hippie songs.
At number 17, down from 9, it's The Wise Guys with Ooh La La. Can't even be bothered giving the song a proper title. They're just giving it noises. Pathetic.
Well, here we've got a group in at number 16 who can't even be bothered to come up with a proper name for their group. They're just called Lit. And the song's called My Own Worst Enemy. Well, I think you probably are, you fucking knobheads.
Yeah, you think you are, but if you ever cross me, which as far as I understand it, Lits have not. But if you're listening, Lit, and you do cross me, believe me, I will be your worst enemy. I'm a perfectly nice guy. I'm pleasant if you're pleasant to me. But if you cross me, I will fucking end you.
You will go off like a fucking firework.
Just ask Simon Bates. I'll leave it at that. Number 15, down from Ruth Maddock. Down from 11. It's From the Heart by Another Level.
Down 4 places at number 14, it's Sixpence None the Richer, gibberish, and a song called Kiss Me.
Well, I'd have to see you first, but I would say 50-50 chance, as long as you're a woman. Number 13, new in, it's Pink by Aerosmith. Nice to see those fellas back. Assumed they were all dead.
Yep, they've recently opened a brand new roller coaster at Euro Disney, which I was lucky enough to go on with my teenage son recently, and very, very good.
Nice to hear he's talking to you again. I heard that you'd stopped communicating after he painted all the walls of his bedroom black.
Yep, I did. I embarked on a zero-tolerance policy, and he's now living with his mother. But hopefully we can restore our relationship at some point. But I'm not that bothered. I don't miss him.
You never got on with him, did you? You didn't take to him?
No, I never liked him. Never liked him.
I didn't either. I can be honest with you. I didn't like him.
Oh.
No, never liked your son from the moment I met him as a baby. Didn't seem like my kind of guy at all.
Something about him.
Yeah, something suspicious. I actually did some digging in the hope that I might be able to grass him as part of my relationship with the constabulary, but bizarrely, he seems to be squeaky clean for now. At number 11, down from 7, it's Doodah with Cartoons. No, sorry, it's Cartoons with Doodah. What fucking difference does it make? These cunts will be forgotten about by tomorrow.
Absolute fucking nonsense. Went into the chart number 7 last week, went straight down to number 11. No one is interested, Doodah, whoever you are. Down 4 places at number 10, it's the Chemical Brothers, who I believe are scientists. And their song is called Hey Boy, Hey Girl.
Nice to see scientists back in the chart. It's been a while. At number 9, new entry for NSYNC with Tearing Up My Heart. And you'll notice there, mate, that they haven't spelt tearing correctly. They've left the G off and replaced it with an apostrophe, such is the American style.
Disgusting. I expect that'll be down in the low 30s by next week. Down 3 places at number 8, Shanks and Bigfoot. Whatever that is. I don't know if they're human, animal, cartoon, or what, but their song is called Sweet Like Chocolate. And it was number 1 recently, but now it's down 3 places at number 8. Shit.
Last we'll hear of them, no doubt, with any luck. At number 7, down 4 places, Baz Luhrmann with Everybody's Free to Wear Sunscreen. I believe this man is a homosexual filmmaker who's turned his hand to the pop charts. Everything about that I find suspicious, but just the way it goes with pop music nowadays.
Yep, I don't think he should be allowed to unless he applies to the chart commission and gains a licence. Down 2 places at number 6, That Don't Impress Me Much, says Shania Twain. I had a dream about Shania Twain the other night, mate. It was disgusting. Yep. I enjoyed it immensely.
Good, yeah. Another lady, like Cher, slightly less miles on the clock. I've heard she too is a lady, but capable of filthy acts. And
similarly dirty.
It's lovely to see her riding high in the charts, and I assume she was doing some riding of some sort in your dream as well.
Yep, you've reminded me there of a particular special moment. Thank you very much.
You in at number 5, it's Adam Rickett with I Breathe Again, young man from the wonderful Coronation Street, although I'd much rather see Mike Baldwin having released a single. Perhaps that might come next.
Once again, it's somebody who has made his name in one discipline and using it as an advantage to dominate the charts, and I don't like it. Down number 4, speaking of dirty ladies, here's the queen of them, it's Madonna, with Beautiful Stranger, down 2 places.
Now, the
always good to see Madonna going down, isn't it?
Madonna, of course, is a dirty lady. That much we all know. She's never made a secret of it, mate. And that, for me, is why she just doesn't have as much class as the Chers or the Shanias of this world. She lets it all hang out. There's no mystery to her dirtiness. And for me, that's a real turn-off.
Didn't she bring a song out many years ago called Like a Dirty Lady?
Yes, Like a Dirty Lady. It was right from the very beginning, saying there is not going to be any pretense here, no mystery, no nothing. I'm a filth bag, and I don't care who knows it. Well, for me, darling, I'm afraid it's a no. I like my women to be ladies in the lounge area and absolute whore bags out back. I think that's how the phrase goes.
Yeah. There's a time and a place for it.
Madge. Decent at knocking up an omelette as well in the kitchen.
Anyway, what's next?
Number 3, new entry. We don't know which way this young lady's going to go. Britney Spears, Sometimes.
Yeah, best not to speculate, I think, at this stage.
I think we've got a clock up on the wall back at the studios, which is a countdown until we can start really ramping things up as far as young Miss Spears is concerned. Just got another 18 months to wait.
Not quite yet.
And we've got another one for this bunch coming up next as well, mate.
Yep. Down 1 place at number 2. It's the S Club 7. I hope that's not their average age. And this song's called Bring It All Back. It was number 1, now it's not.
At number 1 this week, straight in like a bullet, a new entry for the Venga Boys with Boom, Boom, Boom. Wait for it.
Amazing.
Boom, what? There's a 4th boom.
4 booms.
And 2 exclamation marks. Usually I would deem that way too frivolous, but I've heard this song, I've liked this song, and I am backing the Venga Boys right to the top.
And there's even got a comma after every boom, so it's grammatically correct, which I very much enjoy.
Lovely
well
to
done,
see.
Venga Boys. I hope you spend the rest of the year at the top of the charts. There you go. That's your top 40. Hope you enjoyed it. And that's pretty much it for this one. What's going on with the dog?
Can you hear her scratching? She's not settled.
I didn't.
She was. I left her out in the garden for so long she was freezing, and in the end I lured her into the Vita Modular. We had a nice cuddle, which you were lucky enough to witness, and that warmed her up. Yeah. And since then she's just been sort of. She loves to just scratch, Andy. Is this a common dog trait? just like as if she's digging a hole, but she's not digging a hole. She's just scratching the floor.
They do that. They do that to kind of make their area comfortable that they're going to lie in. I think Oscar does that with his bed still to this day. He'll have a good scratch of it before he lies down.
Yeah, she does it on the sofa. If I let her up on the sofa, which I do a lot.
She's a scratcher.
And the other thing is I've got a couple of potted plants here in the Vita Modular, and the first thing she does when she comes in is run over to them and just get all the fucking dirt out of the pot and just fling it across the room.
That's the very fucking...
And you go, what are you doing that one? She just looks at you, she goes, there you go, mate. I've just spread all this fucking muck around for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was all stuck in that pot. It was all stuck in that pot, so I thought I'll fix that for the gaffer. That's what I call you, see, the gaffer. I'll fix that. I'll fling it all over the fucking floor, make it a bit more homely. There you go. Do you like that? No, I fucking don't. Oh, that's a shame. Go and get your fucking shark then that you seem to like so much. We have a right fucking ding dong. When I get the shark out on a Saturday morning, me and Cookie have a right fucking ding dong. She resents it because she can see I've got a lot of affection for it, and she believes it. She's still at the age where she's not sure what is a mammal and what is a machine. So I don't know if you've got Lime bikes up in Sunderland, these sort of bikes that you can just fucking walk up to and beep your phone out and then you ride off on the cunt.
We've got scooters, the scooter version, but not the bikes.
Yeah. So we got these bikes. I sometimes like it to get to the station. But Cookie, when I'm taking her for a walk, if there's a Lime bike parked in the street, she shits herself. She thinks it's a robot dog.
Yeah,
she just stops. As soon as she clocks it, maybe 10 yards off, she just stops, sits down, and refuses to go any further. So I have to pick her up, walk her up to the bike. She's by this stage, like, and I have to, like, touch it and let her smell it so she knows it's not a threat. And she's sort of similar with the shark, but with the shark she does want to fight it, so I'm trying to hoover and she sort of jumps and attacks it while I'm hoovering. It's quite good fun.
Well, she's still young. It sounds like she's got an incredibly tiny mind. Stop it. Hopefully that'll improve.
She's eating the fucking pot. Stop eating that plant. Good.
Right, we'll leave it there. We'll be back next time with a proper look at this chart and whatever the fuck it is that's in it. I can't see this going beyond one more episode. But, there you go. That's the random pub lob for you. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.